Hi everyone! Today I'll be showing you Charmander. So this is one of the pieces that I was doing recently and I'm quite proud of how it turned out. And usually when I look at the Etsy stores to see what are the Charmander crochet items that are available, most of them do not have an open mouth. So I decided that I wanted to make an open mouth version for Charmander. So I did this top of the head first and slowly bend outwards over here to create this gentle slope and create the snout over here. And I even did a little point, a tip over here with just a double crochet stitch, I believe. That is just right here. And I sewed it with slip stitches, attached it with slip stitches actually, to just a hemisphere, a maroon hemisphere that forms the cavity of the mouth. And this pink tongue is also just a cylinder. Okay, it's not really a cylinder, it's a hemisphere. So it's a basic formula for creating spheres, but elongated version. And for the body, it's actually a continuous part that I did from the head. So after I attached this maroon cavity, I took another row to attach the bottom of the maroon cavity right after. So actually it's the same row, you can see that. Just that I can open the mouth over here because there is another cavity that's attached. So for here I continued working in spirals downwards, all the way down, decreasing. And then after I reached this portion of the neck, I increased again and I started doing color changes to create the belly. So I like to make my bellies the same layer as my body itself, because I believe that the belly shouldn't be another piece that is sticking on it, even though maybe the shape will be slightly warped because it is difficult to control the shape of the color changes. So you can see that there is a slight slope downwards because I'm working in spirals. But I think it's not a major issue and I really prefer to do it this way. So I did this color change all the way down until the bottom over here, and I did yellow circle downwards. So we can see that it joins up to the tail here. And the thing that I did next was actually the legs, because I found it the hardest. I was thinking how to create this hind leg effect to have this circle still, but not really make it protrude out so much, such that the back of Charmander looks very big. So I created just a cylinder. So I created just a 2D circle, I think without any single crochet rounds, to increase the length. And afterwards I did a chain to create a circular cylinder, increasing over here to make this thigh bigger as how Charmander usually is, and smaller over here. And I made the feet separately because I wanted this nice spiral at the bottom of the feet. So I did the spirals with the yellow yarn first, then I outlined it with the orange yarn, and I actually did white bobble stitches to create the toes because I thought that it would look nice with it. Okay, it's not really toes, it's toenails, right? So yeah, so these are done with bobble stitches, and I sewed it to the feet over here. So actually the feet and the leg is done separately. And for the arms, I actually did the palm first, and I did 4 bobble stitches to create a cute little hand like thing. And I increased the length of it up all the way here, but because I want it to be slightly sloped, for the last row you can see that I actually did some double crochets to make the length longer at one side as compared to the other side, so that I can just attach it like this and it will naturally slope downwards still. which is usually the pose that Charmander has, a sloping down hand. Yeah, the last thing that I did was actually the tail. So I did the tail from the tip itself downwards. So from the tip I did with orange yarn down until here. Then I started doing the color changes and I attached it to the bottom over here, trying to ensure that it fits nicely just at the edge of the yellow circle on the body, so that it looks a bit kind of like seamless look, where the yellow just kind of continues off to the tail. So for the finishing touches, I did picket stitch over here, so 4 of them to create the 4 little white teeth, and this is like a pom-pom. So instead of using, so this is the first time I tried to do a flame. I didn't know what was the best way to do it, so I just cut a lot of pieces of orange and yellow yarn and I tied it to the end of the tail here. So it kind of flops a bit because there's only one contact point, but it still looks quite nice because of the brushed out effect. So I took apart the plies of the yarn such that it can give kind of a feathered look like this that resembles a flame. But I think the yellow yarn doesn't really feather out that nicely, so it's quite intact. I guess the yellow yarn is too high quality or not suitable for felting. So maybe next time I will use a different kind of yellow yarn and take note of how I can do this. But I would definitely want to try out using the felting method instead, using needle felting to create the flame, because I think it will work really well since it's so fluffy and nice. So for the finishing touches, I actually experimented and made my second plushie with felted eyes, and I really love how it turned out. I drew the outline of the eyes with a red marker, I believe, to try to mix the color as close to orange as possible, just in case I screw up the permanent marker and you can kind of see the shade of it. But I think it turned out well. So I started with the white, then the black, then the blue, and there's some little grays at the corners here, and the white to finish it off. So similarly, I did draw a marker outline and I followed it to create the white, the black, the blue, and the little grays at the side, and white. And for here, I embroidered with black embroidery thread, two diagonal lines to create the nostrils of Charmander. I did try to embroider the eyebrows that are here. I'm not very sure if they're eyebrows, but I thought that it was a bit too angry for this Charmander, so I didn't actually keep it and I removed the eyebrow. I'm not sure if it's really eyebrows, but yeah. So this is the final product of Charmander. Hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about my Charmander crochet, and let me know if this new format is interesting for you. And if you like this kind of crochet content, do like and subscribe for more videos. See you next time.